Gonna be able to record. Test out on that. Make sure, hold on. Okay. Well, that says it's recording. So we'll even leave that in the YouTube video. I'm gonna hit record on my audio. And welcome to CHAPS Darkside podcast. This is our 5th episode. We're kind of still very fledgling at this matter, so there'll be lots of gaps and goofs along the way. It's not really a scripted affair, so don't expect me to sound like any podcast out there that you normally listen to on a daily basis. This is just really a bunch of paranormal people talking. And that's about that. So now we've got Paranormal Spectrum's Investigation BC. Here is my inaugural guests. Inaugural. That's not even the proper inaugural. We got Mike Lutke and Amy Buchholz. Did I pronounce that right?
Yep.
Yep. Jeez, I've been doing this too long. So then, other than Mike, I know you like bad hockey teams and small dogs. Here's my question sheet. This is the way we do it professionally, in the paranormal, especially when we do this sort of thing. We just kind of scratch stuff down on paper. So I guess maybe what I would have to say is that why don't you let me know a little bit about PSI. Where did you guys start up with things? Give me the story.
Amy, go for it.
Okay, well, Mike and I have been part of paranormal teams in the past. I have so many years of experience. I'm probably 20 plus years of experience. Mike's been in the paranormal for years. And, last year we decided, we want to kind of do our own thing. And we started our own team that it's I don't know, we have different theories and different ways of investigating that we weren't allowed to in the past with, with other teams. So we kind of wanted to branch out and do our own thing. And so we started Paranormal Spectrum Investigations, and we're basically in the Lower Mainland, Fraser Valley area, and we just investigate historical locations, residential, and commercial buildings.
I see. So go down the Vancouver, Surrey, Maple Ridge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
So, yeah, so Vancouver, Maple Ridge, Surrey, Langley, all the way to even Hope. So
okay.
we're branching out. Yeah.
I spent a couple of years living in Kelowna out there, but I didn't venture too far to the west coast of things.
Yeah, we have joined up with 2 local teams. They're our sister teams, Faculty X Investigations, and they're up in the interior. And then locally down here, we're with Northern Paranormal Investigations.
Okay,
so we kind of work collectively with those 2 teams as well to kind of branch out, and it's fun to be able to collaborate with other teams and reach out to more clients who need our help. So.
Collaboration's a huge issue, frankly. I think one of the big things that is a scourge in our genre is ego, and the inability to reach out and work with other teams and get their ideas, and maybe even see that they could be doing something better. And,
for sure, yeah.
I know in years past, teams have come to us for training, and they were doing something that I went, well, that's crazy. You guys have done 3 investigations, and what a great idea. And it's always good to stuff your ego in a bag and learn. And collaboration is a big thing, as long as it's something positive. Now, Northern Paranormal, I'm familiar with. That's Daryl Pearson, right? Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
And Faculty X is Kay involved with?
Yes, Kay Thornton. Yeah,
Kay
she's
Thornton.
involved. Yes, she's a founder.
Okay, that's good. I know there's a lot of teams out in BC, like Ontario, we're probably infiltrated with a lot of good and bad. So that gives me kind of you went to my number 4 question already, so you totally shimmed my whole schedule up, but your sister teams.
We aim to please.
You're forcing me to have to think a bit more. And you kind of already got into your history and where you started. So that was my number 3 question. Damn it. And I'm much the same, I grew up in spiritualist church and stuff like that, so I had that side of things kind of covered. But mind you, CHAPS, we don't really get too deeply into it, and I did get involved in some other teams, 20 odd years ago, and you're right. Sometimes you just got to do it your way.
Yeah.
And look, I've had people that were great on my team that I've said to them, you got to lead your own show.
Yeah, I mean, like, other teams have their own theories and investigation styles and everything, and that's totally fine. But sometimes you want to branch out and do your own thing, and when you're limited to what you can and can't do, and you're told no, then you're like, okay, well, maybe I should go and try somewhere else. So that's okay too.
That's a good point. And I guess every team, to a degree, is going to be like that. I mean, I'm sure you guys have your own manifesto and how it is. Maybe, there you go, this is the next question. You just got me on.
Yeah, I mean, some teams are more scientific, some are more spiritual based. And I think it's actually really cool that everybody's different, because that's how you're going to learn from each other. You work collectively amongst each other, and it's just so much fun to see how everybody investigates and the questions they come up with and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, I love working with other teams and seeing
what's your
what they use.
What's your angle on things? Like when you go into an investigation, is your take on it? How is your approach to an investigation? Your direction? Where do you go with things? How do you balance it out?
Well, we try to be like, we do take a bit of a scientific approach to it, but we also try to be experimental and try new ways of doing things. We're not afraid to try something that sounds absolutely ridiculous to try, because you never know what's going to work and what's not going to work. So, and we'll even try things that haven't proven to work at all in the past. We'll try it again, right? So that's kind of where we go. So.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, what we're doing really is a hobby science at best. It's not proven.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I think there are things that don't work. To me, but I've been known in the industry for being a little on the opinionated side. That's sort of. So do you guys equalize? Do you utilize mediums? Do you utilize? What would be in your primary tool bag of? We go to an investigation. It's a old church. Go. What do you bring?
Well, we don't utilize psychic or mediums. I mean, we're not against them by absolutely any means, and we say, if psychic and mediums are present at an investigation because the client requests it, that's totally cool, as long as they realize that we're doing something completely separate. I mean, it'd be kind of interesting to, have somebody do like a seance, but we're in the background, investigating and putting up our foot to see if what could be captured, something like that. But for the most part, we just go into a place, we just try to recreate situations that a client may have experienced to try and get the logical explanations, and then we'll set up our cameras, our REM pods, our voice recorders, trigger objects, everything that we can think of to try and see if there's actually spirits in that location. And then if we find something that we can't explain, we're not going to say your place is or isn't haunted. We're just going to give them the evidence and be like, we can't explain this, but we can come back and try again. So,
which is
like,
completely viable.
But one thing that we're really big on our team is that we want to get into more of the historical side of that location, the land, and all that. We need to pull out the history of the families, the people that live there, everything about it. Because that's probably one of the most important things, is trying to figure out what actually happened in that building or on that piece of property. So we do our research before we go in.
Well, that's the job of any rational investigation team, frankly. I just did a podcast about mediums, and I'm quite sure I haven't checked my email box, but I'm pretty sure I've probably got some flack in there about it. Look, I mean, there are teams that are like hardcore mediums and teams that aren't. Unfortunately, we've worked, like I would say CHAPS has worked with about 40 teams, and the ones with the mediums have turned into just a gong show, to be honest with you. So
Like, yeah, I don't want to discredit, like, say it's like psychic or mediums or anything, but really for what we do in our field, it comes down to audio and visuals.
Yeah.
So we can't really prove or disprove what a psychic does.
You're right.
So, I mean, it's great for maybe a personal experience report or something, but really, at the end of the day, we can't use it.
You're right.
We
You're
can,
very
in
right.
our opinion anyway. So.
You're very right. Well, I mean, it's the truth, and we're there to gather the tangible evidence we possibly can.
Yeah.
As tangible as that evidence can be, right? You know, I mean, a lot of the evidence that we get is, you know, scoffed at by, you know, a scientific community, but we've got to be able to make it as strong to present as possible and responsible to present. I can't go to a client and say, well, the medium said that there's a vortex in your basement.
Yeah.
You know, and then now, of
Yeah.
course, they're trying to sell their freaking house because of what the medium
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
That's very good. Okay, so you know what? So what do you? What would you? I'm going to give you your top 3 favorite pieces of equipment, and what are your least favorite pieces of equipment? If you could tell somebody, stay away from that. Try that.
Okay, top 3. Okay. Voice recorders, 100%. I love voice recorders. I'm getting really big right now into trail cams, just because they're so easy to set up, and they've got that great visual with the IR lights, and you can record video, audio, everything on them. They're amazing. You can put them anywhere. And then I'm really big. I love my REM pods. I've got some cool things with those, so that's probably my top 3.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, voice recorder as well, obviously number 1. You can't be a paranormal investigator without a voice recorder.
Yeah.
Doing photography, I love having my camera there and taking pictures of everything.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's number 2 for me. But those are pretty simple ones. Number 3, I really like having an EMF. Not a K2, but an actual like EMF detector that I have one right now that picks up EMF and ambient temperature and that sort of thing. So I like those 3. I'm going to make a 4th one just because it's kind of a running joke, and Kay will get this really, my balls. I love my balls. So, and I don't have them with me. I should have had them.
Everybody's seen Mike's balls.
Yeah, you know.
Are they the twinkly ones that go off? I've got a set of those balls too, Mike. It's okay. It's okay. We can be those kind of brothers together.
There we go.
In the paranormal, we have sparkly balls.
There you go.
You know,
Might have been touched by a lot of people.
Yeah.
And maybe some spirits.
And they got nice little red buttons on them, and it doesn't take much to get them going, does it? Well, that's good. Yeah, I'm obviously, you know, having a smoke. Give me a break. So, audio is definitely 100% for me, right? I mean, I think we're at our investigation count. I think we're sitting around 475, and if we have any evidence worth merit whatsoever, audio. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely the camera to document. Although I gotta say, we've got about 3,000 pictures on our website. Not one of them. What are some of the equipment, though, guys, that you don't like? You see other people using it, and you're like, oh my god. Huh?
Spirit box. I do not like the spirit
That's
box.
B7, the headache maker.
Yeah, I do not like reviewing spirit boxes. They're the most frustrating pieces of equipment. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. that's I don't know. I'll use most pieces of equipment, but not that one. How about you, Mike?
You know, I haven't found something that I absolutely hate, because I can tolerate a spirit box in moderation. There's not one particular thing that really stands out. Like,
Oh, come on.
Look at it.
There's
No way am I
something.
using that. So.
You're trying to tell
Well-
me the flashlight test? Are you a big fan of the flashlight test?
No, I don't care for the flashlight test.
Okay, good.
Mostly because I've seen the videos out there where it shows what exactly is happening, you know, where there's loose connections and stuff like that. And
I will ask them to throw the flashlight across the room before I do the flashlight test.
Yeah, it's not.
yeah, I would never do that. I would never use it as evidence. It's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
In our bylaws, it's actually not allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever tried it ourselves. I mean, we have obviously lots of things in our bylaws that we don't use, like we don't use Ouija boards and stuff either, right? So, yeah, I mean, maybe a spirit box too, just because of how annoying it is. Like, I can tolerate maybe about 5 minutes, and then I'm just like, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a headache
Yeah.
maker. It's a headache maker. And especially if
Yeah.
you guys are at Vancouver and I'm in the Toronto area, man, you've got to travel a really long distance to get away from all that verbal diarrhea over it.
Yeah. I mean, we just did an investigation, and we don't have a spirit box, but we were with NPI, and they were using it, and it was just picking up all kinds of stuff, and I just was, not feeling it.
Yeah, no
For lack of a better word.
No point. I agree. I'll admit that sometimes there's equipment that we have that I don't believe in. Like I'm not a big STS fan. SLS, STS Connect, whatever bloody hell they want to call it.
Yeah.
We've used it on 40 odd investigations. I had it built for me. Yeah, I mean the algorithms do what it's supposed to do. But I guess maybe I keep using it to maybe one day get that unicorn that's going to run across the screen. I'm a little tired of seeing door hangers and chairs turning into things that wave at people.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's like a cult, really, because people really get into that. They really get into what they get from that machine, and it's kind of laughable, but who knows?
We were actually at an investigation about a month ago, and we had the SLS set up, and it was pointing at one of our investigators who was sitting so still at a table, and it was showing her dancing on the table. It was like, what's happening here?
Well,
it was really quite funny.
It's an interesting thing. I know that my grandkids are here to visit, and they wanted to see the ghost hunting deer, so of course that's going to be one of the things that they're going to see. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll take it off of equipment. I can stroke that off.
Yeah, the SLS is definitely something that is work in progress. Like, we are continuing to use it, but so far it's never really given us anything viable. But
It's a beta
we'll keep
test.
trying it out.
It's a beta
We'll keep
test.
trying it.
And honestly, I mean, there's nothing wrong. Like, one thing as teams, we're all guilty of it. We see a show, we see a piece of equipment, we all lose our freaking
You have to
minds.
have it.
It's like, you
Yeah.
gotta have
Yeah.
it. So much so, I know that I chat with Ben Hansen, and Ben had been on an episode of Paranormal Lockdown where they used their concentric panels that go off there. It's actually not made for paranormal investigation. It's made for a kids' education system. So I begged him to find out where to get it, and I did. I mean, the panels cost me $500 for 2 panels, and it cost me $300 to get it into Canada. And you know what? In 3 years, it has equivalated to nothing.
Yeah.
But am I going to use it? Well, I spent $800 on it.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
going to use it for a little while, or
Yeah.
I'm going to sell it to some other sucker. But really, that's sort of like a super REM pod, really. I mean, it's just a big sheet of paneling that has lights on it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that it works one day. I really do. You know what? I would figure that after 25 years, I would have had a couple good experiences that would have knocked me flat on my ass, but not just yet. Not just yet. You two said it. You know, I'm still can't find what I'm looking for, but that's
Yeah.
why I keep doing it.
Right.
So then, let's have a look over here. What's the next question of your list? Favorite investigation. Favorite investigation. What's the favorite you've done?
Oh, jeez. Oh my gosh. There's so many good ones.
Yeah, there's a few.
Yeah, there's been a few. Oh my gosh. Actually, I don't know. The one that we did not too long ago was actually pretty fun. It was an overnight investigation that we did.
Yeah.
It was at the Yale Historic Site.
Oh yeah.
It's an amazing. It's a gorgeous historical site out in Yale. Yeah, we just did an overnight investigation, and I don't know. There was just. It was such such a rich history there that Mike and I actually ended up going back a week later just to go and take pictures and just get more history, just have more of a history lesson on the place. It was great. I don't know. That was probably my favorite.
Was that?
Yeah, I mean, that one was really cool. I mean, just being able to, like, you know, you're wrapping up an investigation. We've been investigating there since, you know, 7 o'clock in the evening, and it's now 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, we're still going.
You need to go to sleep, but you're like, what's here with us? Right? Like, is there something here with us still? Like, we left cameras rolling while we were sleeping. Like, we're like, did we get something? Or it was pretty awesome. That one was pretty cool.
Is this like a pioneer village of some kind, or?
It's kind of like well, right now it's turned into a museum, but it's basically focuses on the community of Yale, and it's in the Fraser Canyon, right outside of Hope, about half an hour outside of Hope. And it's just where we investigated is actually 3 different buildings. There's a house that's now a museum. There's a house that's now a bed and breakfast. And there's a church, which is, if I'm not mistaken, the oldest church in British Columbia.
I think it's
So, yeah, it's pretty amazing. Like, just, you know, putting your hand on the pews in the church and, like, the history that must be just have sat in those pews, right? You're just like, wow, this is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. All right.
Yeah.
How many? You have a big team out there, or how many?
We have myself and Amy. We have, trying to think here now, we have Paige. We have
Brian and Carla. So yeah.
Brian and Carla. And,
Yeah.
and Anastasia's sort of on the team, sort of not. She's still weighing it, but she just recently joined us for investigation at the Vancouver Police Museum with NPI. So, yeah.
But I guess with the sister teams, you guys can collaborate with a much larger grouping of people.
Yeah, that one was because of COVID. Obviously, we kind of had to limit the amount of people in the teams. You know, we split into 3 different groups. I'm trying to remember now. You know, try not to make it more than like 4 or 5 of us in a group type thing. So yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much our team right now. We're sitting at about I think about 6 of us. So try not to make it too many. Again, because of COVID, you can't really have too many anyways. So.
Oh yeah, COVID. Yeah. COVID's been a real pain in the ass, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we have an investigation tomorrow night where, you know, we got to keep it small, and you know, and we're teaming up with that back with the X as well. So.
Yeah. We've had some, one of our latest cases where literally I went and taught them how to use the equipment in the driveway, and then I left them with the equipment for 2 weeks. You know, we've got 4 investigations slated up in the next 6 weeks, and you know, nobody's going to be home, and houses have got to be sparkling clean, and we're going in with masks, we're going the whole full tilt, wiping down the equipment. It's got to be done. You know, but like, I know for us, CHAPS has got 2 offices, one up near Ottawa, me down by the Toronto area. So there's 19 of us.
Wow.
And generally speaking, in peak years, we were handling 70 to 90 investigations a year. So
That's a lot.
COVID put the brakes on a lot.
Yeah.
And that can really, really, really hamper a team with their juice. You know, you get them in the group there and you're like, hey, let's do this, guys. Let's do this research. Let's do this. And, you know, that's not fun to try to ignite, for sure.
Yeah.
And I know that Ontario and BC are kind of similar in their approaches towards getting things opened up again. I think things will be fine. I think actually it's a good thing because it's going to give us so much more chance to really focus on case management. And it's really going to give us a bigger chance to really plan. Like when we go into an investigation, you can't bullshit around. It's got to be, let's get in there, let's do it right. And more time, because now it used to be we'd get in there shortly if they needed us. Now it's like 8 weeks. But now it's, I can plan everything we're going to do. So we can get in there.
Exactly, yeah.
And do it.
Yeah.
And do it right. And if anything else, it teaches us how to think outside the box, because with the team, We had to
Yeah.
think of things to do, whether that be experiments in ESP or researching, I don't know, Ogopogo or something, something strange.
Yeah.
Not a lot of crypto stuff going on out here, unfortunately.
Yeah, we got the bulk of that out here.
Yeah, BC, you guys got the luck when it came to that stuff in bad hockey teams. It really was that.
Here we go.
Here we go. Well, I don't know. I haven't checked the Leaf scores, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be in the lead, even though it was the second period halfway through 0-0. All right. So why don't you give me your plug on your events upcoming, your website, all that stuff.
I mean, first off, I do want to do one little plug here for our investigation tomorrow night, mostly because it is such a cool place that we're getting to go to, right? Like, amazing place. Anyone that's familiar with BC knows of Hell's Gate, the air tram. We are going to be going in there tomorrow night. Myself and Amy and Carla, we're going to be meeting up with Kay and Alicia from Faculty X. And we are going to be investigating there tomorrow night. We might even be going live if we have permission from them, but they have given us permission to, let everyone know that we're coming. So there's that. And then, of course, working with the Yale Historic Site. So that one's, we got a couple more investigations to do there in the fall, and then next spring there's going to be a big reveal of everything that we've gotten. So, yeah.
That's awesome. And you want to plug your website, your Facebook page, your Instagram, your Twitter? Anything?
But you're on that.
Yeah, because I do most of that. I know Amy tries to help when she can, but Amy's actually the website guru. Like, she built our website. So that's www.paranormalspectruminvestigationsbc.com.
Okay.
There's also, we're on Instagram. Trying to remember what our Instagram account is.
I follow it.
Somewhere, I think.
Yeah.
I believe it's at Paranormal SI. What is it, Amy?
PS.
I just logged into it.
PSI, I believe.
At Paranormal SIBC. I think that's what it is. At Paranormal SIBC. I can't remember.
Well,
Just look us up. Just look up Paranormal Spectrum Investigation.
You can look it up. You can look it up. I know you guys have a YouTube. as
We're
well.
on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook.
We are honest.
Yep.
We
Aren't
just
we
can't
all?
remember what we are.
Aren't we all? Okay. So, we have a bet going on about the Leafs and the Cougars. The Canucks anyway. The other team. So if Toronto wins, I guess even in the standings, I guess that's where it's going to have to be, because who knows who's going to win the cup. I'm going to get one of your shirts. I'm going to put it on, make it my profile picture. Back and forth. Who the hell can afford jerseys? That's crazy. I can't afford a jersey. Hell no. So, okay, other than that, I guess what I really want to thank you guys for was being my inaugural guest. I said it right. My inaugural guests on the Darkside podcast. I'll get this uploaded tonight.
All right.
Thanks for having us.
Hey,
Thank
thanks
you
for
so much
being
for
there.
talking to us.
Be good.
We'll try.
We'll try. Can't promise anything, but we'll try.
It's off. All right, it's off. Well, thanks, guys. That's